What's going on, guys? Hopefully everybody likes my new shirt. Well, it's not a new shirt. I've had it for a while. Get enough exercise. Just something, right? It's just, my luck. Just pushing my luck. Pushing my luck right there. Anyways, I just get enough exercise to push my luck. And either way, while we're pushing our luck, we might as well just talk about a little bit more on the part in which everybody thinks that I don't know about. Of course, I don't really give a shit what people think. If it's, I don't Wing Chun, I know Jet can do, whatever. You know what? From where people start thinking where they just know how to punch and twist the foot at the same time and twist the back foot with the rear hook. A lot of people are stuck with that subject. And then when it comes to kickboxing, a lot of people get, how to twist the waist and throw in the leg and give off that rare, kick. Of course, you're going to give off that back kick and it's going to come up. It's going to come up and hit you on the side, but whatever. We're not here to talk about just the basics of what Americans are used to. Of course, a lot of Americans are used to the things that what we're going to hear and talk about. Seems like why is Americans just used to these things? Why Americans in the modern age already know about all kinds of other things like mixed martial arts. And then we start talking about Wing Chun, and Wing Chun seems to want to dominate the area. Of course, Wing Chun is a traditional area, 70-30. Everybody knows it's grown to the point of manipulating, adapting, and adopting other moves, even wrestling. And then you got Jet Can Do, which came after Wing Chun 2, that was basically not even a crystallized area where you could continue adding other martial arts like karate. Jet Can Do had the ability to take karate and use it, and then had jiu-jitsu, judo, and tai chi, whatever the fuck you want to add to Jet Can Do, because if you can do it, you can do it. That was the point of that. Anyways, Wing Chun had gone that far, everything else, but a lot of people out there don't understand. They think Americans are just like boxing and kickboxing, and a lot of people don't get that. And anyways, while we're here sitting here talking about things, of course, maybe you are one of those people, of course. Let's not slow down too much, but let's pick up the pace a little bit. Talk about those people out there that really don't get it, that never thought about Wing Chun, never heard of Wing Chun. And if you didn't hear about Wing Chun, you didn't think about talon selling and park selling. That's why I'm on Gab for it, buddies. And of course, that's what gets that out there, because now you understand all the things. That once you step into Wing Chun, I don't give a shit about your connection. I just give a shit if you can teach it or not, and if it's really going to work. And if it's really going to work, then we're going to spar. And sparring, understanding martial arts, obviously. In martial arts, you're going to practice your moves on each other before you practice it on somebody else. So what we're going to do is going to make a lot of sense in a real practice spar match more than a real match. Because in a practice spar match, you're not going to go as hard as you would have to deal with that. But you could get as hard as you're going to have to deal with that, depending on what teacher you deal with or not, because there are different teachers, and we all teach different things. Some people are going to teach you to only come out this way and then only roll over with a bong sao. Me, I'm going to teach you ton sao, pak sao, bong sao, but if you can bong sao, you can block. Those are things I'm going to teach you either way. I can bong sao and chop you. I have a chain bong sao striking system too. So one thing people don't understand is the chain punching system is called the triple punch. So it's 1, 2, 3. But in my system, it's 1, 2, 3. But 1, 2, 3 with a palm chain strike, and 1, 2, 3 with the side chop attack, almost like karate. But that's how they do. They attack the neck, they attack the throat, they go for the eyes, the nose, groin, the private area, of course. That's Wing Chun for you. Whereas you got all this, at the same time you've got this void. You got this area. If you can chop a neck, you can chop an arm down, you can chop to the ribs, you can palm to the ridge, you can pump to the ridge. You're going to understand the ridge actually equals the ribs. Of course, it's the slang word. to easily speak about martial arts. It's almost like some people don't understand slang. Everything you get into, there's a slang of talking. Even where you work at, there's a slang of how you talk. But whatever. Point is just understanding basically this area right here. Once you're in your semi-towel, go to your semi-towel, understand your punch, you're coming out, you're dropping down, your long towel to fox towel, and then when you drop and you flip your hands out, we understand once you drop, I can hit you this way. But at the same time, some people were a little bit faster. So if I was to hit you and try to push you this way and you came up with another fist, so I came about this far to taking down that arm. But instead, in that midst of that area, you've got to understand a decision choice and the most fastest speed that you have to think. The faster you can think, the faster you can defend yourself. That's what the drop hand comes in because I created the drop hand to give it more definition, because a lot of people use the drop hand and Wing Chun more than they normally do, but I pinpointed out a section of that drop where they would explain that section normally, but they don't have an explanation more than past my explanation, because I pinpointed that spot out where they were manipulating your hand. So if I was to come here, block, then manipulate my hands. The point of blocking and attacking is that your hand is not straight with a still motion. You have a flow motion. Flow means you're using more of your wrist than your hand, but your hand is strong enough to deal with it because you practice all the time. And you practice, you make it a habit all the time with the hand here, with the hand here, with, of course, the hand here. And if you practice Tiger Claw like I do, your fingertips are pretty strong too. But anyways, facts is that once you do this drop hand thing, it gives you the speed and the momentum to understand this part right here. Once you drop down, and this part means to basically go out and pock sow and palm sow a person. You're going to pock sow the outside of them. So when they throw it out there, you come here, basically grazing the hand. And that's what that explains too. At the end of your Wing Chun, going into your last part of your 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, is that you're grazing the hand, grazing the hand, grazing the hand. You're still grazing the hand. It's still another whole explanation. Because once you come over here, no matter what, you're still just putting yourself into the speed, the flow, the motion, and coming over, and boom, just like that, right? So you think they're just going to throw out a swing. But then we're starting to think about more of an advanced area. So many people can sit there and say, well, this ain't going to work. Try it on me. And they try it on them. And they're like, I already knew about it. So I'm just going to do this and show you a counteract to it. You can show anybody a counteraction to anything. I mean, it doesn't matter what it is. But if you don't train in it, then you're not going to understand the counteraction area. And the counteraction area, too, so if I was to come over, but he knew I was going to come over when he threw out a swing and came at my face right here, and going for the palm, I catch a fist to the face because I tried to strike him in, and somehow maybe he twisted over. So he came at me like this, threw it out there, and threw just a twist of a foot. A twist of the foot can matter compared to the twist of the body. So in your first position, what you're going to understand is, yeah, I can twist my foot to throw my fist out there. I twist it, throw my body weight a little bit into it, just in case I make a hit. Throw a little something into it, of course. But then you see him coming at you at your side and going to strike you on your side here. Then quickly, from here, you go from here, you're jerking down and you're punching him right back. That's how Wing Chun works. It's a quick counteraction to the next counteraction, to who can do the next counteraction. It has so much to it. To regular boxing, to Wing Chun kickboxing, to kickboxing and whatever you're going to use. It doesn't really matter. So what we're trying to understand here is a quick reaction. My quick reaction, I'm trying to follow the semi-auto basics, so I see an opportunity in my beginning. My beginning tells me I'm going to come out here and palm it and strike him, right? So when I come out here, I see him here. From here, I have two different choices before I completely make the block and the strike. I see him coming right, twisting right at me. When he came out there with this to quickly coming down in that moment of time, to quickly realizing his reaction, to actually bracing in that time. You can brace for a beginner issue. Beginners are going to use beginner strength. This is a beginner strength. This is a beginner teaching. This is a beginner understanding. So if you try to use something more experienced with one hand and a striking point, and you come over like this trying to strike like that, one main thing you're going to understand is right in that midst of the area, you need to be focused on their reaction to when you come from right here before you land right on in there. That's a part of fighting. You don't understand things. That's what Kung Fu is. Kung Fu is quickly understanding the flow to quickly flowing, and working your way right into the attack. Sometimes you've got to work your way into the attack, and that's what Kung Fu is. And so when I'm coming over and I'm trying to strike and palm, palm, basically, I'm pak-saling and palm striking to the side. I'm quickly learning I need to brace this up real quick. I need to come down here, catch them here, from here. Of course, I need to come up here, make sure I block this whole area and this whole different hands that you can use if you're educated in that direction. This direction from that direction, you need to be educated from this to this. You need that education all mixed together. So Wing Chun brings that much education into it. So if you really don't think you get it, and you do get it, that's why I'm here, of course. You pay me money and whatever, or if I got the time, of course you get this free fucking video that teaches you about those kind of issues. So if I was halfway here, trying to pak-sal to the side and strike him and quickly come up, but he's quicker than me. So if I come over here and he's smarter than me, he's going to be smarter. He's going to throw his first fist like a trick. And that happens. It's called a fade. Well, basically a fade can go halfway or only go a percentage of a way. To quickly just rolling right back into another position. You have a ... attack, and you have an attack ... So if I was to land a punch, of course, that was the ... right? No, that was the attack. Then the ... because I'm going to attack him, and then I'm going to throw out a fake, and he's going to throw out the next, and I'm going to come down and come in, and boom, 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 boom. Pretty simple stuff. It takes experience, takes a little partner, but they're going to teach you so much fucking shit in Wing Chun, it's just going to blow your fucking mind. I'm trying to sit here and try to tell you that there's so many people going to say, well, he don't know what he's talking about. I do know what I'm talking about. And unfortunately, they're going to teach you almost similarities of what I talk about, but not in their particular form or fashion or whatever they do. Maybe they're liberal, Democrat, Buddhist, whatever. They're the opposite of you. And they want you to think they do and whatever, and you want to become whatever you're going to become and get to the martial arts career. Our career is a whole nother story. So if you're trying to learn all this shit for a career, you need to be careful. Trust me. You need to be careful, because if you're looking for a career in this shit, it's not as simple as you think. But when we're talking about our basic semi-auto, we're directing ourselves from our lawn cell to our fox cell to dropping right on down where we know it's here. It's here. We got a halfway step. Our halfway step is before we strike them in and they throw out that joke punch. They throw out that fade punch trying to joke us in there. And then before they, I come over and where he threw it out and I'm trying to pocket down, basically, what would you do in that different situation? So you throw out a punch, and they're trying to strike you down and palm strike you. What would you do? Basically, in that situation, of course, you would have to lift this hand from here, dragging it down, to blocking yourself down here. So if you know Wing Chun, you're going to get that position. So I threw out my first punch, he tried to knock it down and palm strike me. Instead of going all the way fully through with it, I saw his hands come out. I quickly twisted myself, twisted it down, like a pop down, gum style down. You can pop, gum, style down to defend yourself, to quickly coming over, holding that position here, chopping on in there, pushing your way on in there. You can keep the both arms on the same section if you're fast enough. But you've got to understand how to counteract or re-counteract also. So it's not just about throwing out a swing and countering it, or being able to throw out a swing and to counter your swing as a fade for if you landed it or if you didn't land it. So when you throw out something, one of the main things you're going to understand what I'm explaining here to you, of course, is that you take responsibility for everything you do in your fight. That's one main thing you need to understand, is you take responsibility so you know the counter when you throw it out there, but you know the striking if you deliver it. And that's one of the biggest things I try to just taught you through this whole video, and I don't know if you picked it up the way I explained it, but take a notepad, write it down, and try to pick up what I'm talking about, because it's not fucking hard to understand. If you threw your hands out this way, pock sawing down a strike and palm striking to quickly, just basically, of course, because he's going to come at you with the next hand, to quickly just switch yourself, because you have to be ready. So if you come here, of course you need to be ready as you twist and turn, because you already have the momentum, you already have the flush going right on in there. To quickly seeing how quickly it comes at you, to just quickly come upwards and block yourself and strike them on in too. So I don't know how else to put that to you. It's got a lot of good stuff to it. It just takes you understanding it. Other than that, it's a goddamn good time teaching you Wing Chun, and why so many people think traditionally about Americans, whatever, fuck it. You know what, Chinese don't like Muslims, Christians, fuck it. I like Chinese people, but, you know, there's a lot of issues in that political area. And I get about the Democratic Party, they're a bunch of libtards, but they're not giving up their issues against the constitutionalists or the patriots or the conservatives or the nationalists to our country from other people's countries who they think that's just gonna fucking be our best fucking friends. Almost like the neo-Nazi party, you know? You think about the Nazi Germany shit where they were friends with this country, that country, but they had all these little nationalists serving under them, and they just like gave them some sort of type of power to have that issue. Either way, we deal with those kind of fucking problems in martial arts. That's just similarity. So if you didn't know, now you know. But if I was to think about it, I was going to come in and strike him. He threw out that first punch halfway, and I felt it come at me. I was just going to go this way, and then I saw it come up, and then I popped up here, come back down here, protecting myself somehow. Boom, whatever. You know, boom, whatever. Work myself into there. It's going to make more sense to you. I mean, yeah, you're watching a video. What can you do with a video? I did a lot of things with a different bunch of videos. That's what kind of helped out my own martial arts, because I have that education and that skill to pick up stuff more than other people do. You know, when you take someone to work, they're like, well, do I need to show you or do you already know? You know, sometimes people got to show you. That's okay. You got to learn somewhere, of course, even as apprentice, to whatever you're doing, to whoever's showing it. And everything's already there for me to learn, so I kind of picked up on it more than other people. But anyways, that's just kind of to get out there, talking about a recounter, of course, to a counter, of course. So if you throw out a punch and I'm trying to counter it, I need to quickly recounter myself. But then again, maybe I'm the person who threw out the punch. And I threw out the punch, and it will land you if I want it to land you. If I see I can land you, but I quickly halt myself somehow in a reaction of my senses. And quickly from here, going from here to throwing myself in there. Of course, I can quickly see myself and understand my own void. So if I'm blocking here, I see my own void coming at me from this hand. That hand's coming straight at me for my recounter. But the hand that's coming at me is the other way. So that other hand is trying to basically palm strike me. You're thinking that maybe that hand is just trying to block you. So if you was to throw out a fade in your own position, you're going to go out like you're trying to punch and strike, but it's still going to land in this way because you got to learn how to manipulate your hands. So if you was to land your first punch, of course, if you was to throw out a first punch, your hand's going to come out almost like this. But either way, you're going to have a forceful area here that quickly manipulates your hand in that little section right there. So if I was going to come out here, this was the Ton side, Pak side, depending on how I twist my hands to recounter it. But I thought I could come out there and punch you and palm you at the same time. So it's a double attack too. So that's sort of a normal bonus that you get into this video. That, let's say you were trying to start a fight with someone, and they were in your face. And you twisted and palm and punch strike them to start a fight. You're the bad guy, not the good guy. Or maybe you're the good guy, I don't know. It depends on the situation. But on the situation, you're going to understand that you're still using two attacks at one time. So that's the greatest secret too. That's another greatest secret. I don't talk about a lot of different secrets about Wing Chun, but it's another greatest secret about Wing Chun, because the other secret about Wing Chun is that you're also using a double attack. So if they were to throw a punch at you from the low area and you was to strike down like this, of course you was to strike it down and palm strike them or punch them, you're still using an attack too. So, you know, I guess I figured out a lot of different things about Wing Chun that other people didn't figure out. But it takes a lot to understand that situation, and it depends how to use whatever I teach you. Alright, I'm out of here, guys. Enjoy the fucking video. And other than that, adios.